Welcome to this audiobook summary of You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, a transformative guide to unlocking the wealth and potential that lies within you. I'm your narrator, here to take you on a journey through Proctor's powerful ideas, personal stories, and practical steps to reshape your relationship with money, success, and life itself. This isn't just a book about getting rich in the material sense. It's about discovering the richness you were born with, the untapped mental and spiritual resources that can lead you to a life of abundance. So, settle in, open your mind, and let's dive into this hour-long exploration of how you can bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Bob Proctor begins with a bold premise. Every one of us has been born rich, not necessarily with money in the bank, but with an infinite capacity to create wealth, happiness, and fulfillment. The problem? Most of us don't realize it. We're temporarily short of money, he says, because we haven't learned how to piece together the puzzle of life. This book, published by asimianthink.net and copyrighted in 1997, is his attempt to hand us the missing pieces, step by step, chapter by chapter. Proctor promises a simple yet profound plan to take us from our current reality to our desired destiny. But he warns us early on, reading alone won't cut it. It's the understanding and application of these ideas that will make the difference. Let's start with the introduction, where Proctor sets the stage with a metaphor. Life, he says, is like a Rubik's Cube. All the right pieces and colors are there, but getting them to fit together can be frustrating. Too often, we leave out a piece or two, never quite completing the picture of prosperity we long for. He's not here to tell us anything we don't already know deep down. Instead, he organizes timeless truths into a coherent roadmap. Proctor draws from over 25 years of testing these ideas himself and watching thousands of seminar attendees do the same. People who went from scraping by to thriving, from despair to joy. And now, he invites us to put these concepts to the test in our own lives. Chapter 1. Me and Money. Imagine a grand hotel ballroom in 1923, the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. 8 men sit around a table, their names synonymous with wealth. Charles Schwab, head of the largest steel company. Howard Hopson, gas industry titan. Arthur Cutten, wheat speculator extraordinaire. These were the richest men of their time, controlling more money than the U.S. government. Fast forward 25 years, and Bob Proctor paints a stark picture. Schwab died bankrupt, Hopson went insane, Cutten passed away broke, and others met fates of prison or suicide. They mastered earning money, but not living richly. This is how Proctor kicks off Chapter 1, Me and Money, with a warning and a promise. Money matters, but it's how you relate to it that determines your fate. Proctor's point is sharp. Money isn't the villain some make it out to be. Forget the sayings like, money isn't everything, or rich people aren't happy. He calls those excuses absurd. Money is crucial in our world. Your grocer cares about it, your landlord does, and so should you. It's a tool, a commodity that shapes your attitude more than almost anything else. Lose it suddenly, gain it fast, and you'll feel the shift. Yet most people, Proctor says 95 out of 100, never grasp what money really is or how to attract it. They drift from cradle to casket, wishing for more without understanding they could have it. So what is money? Proctor lays out 3 truths. First, it's a servant. You're the master. Reverse that, loving money and using people, and you're doomed. He shares a personal story, a silver beer stein on his shelf. He'd toss pocket change into it, letting it pile up, useless, until it overflowed. Then he'd give it to a kid, his cousin T. Jay once ran off with it to buy golf lessons. And suddenly, that money sprang to life, circulating, creating joy. Contrast that with old Mr. Chapman, a junk dealer from Proctor's childhood. When Chapman died, police found over $100,000 stuffed in boxes around his house. Cash he hoarded, never spent, living like a pauper despite his wealth. Why? Fear, Proctor says. Fear of losing it kept it worthless. Second, money isn't luck. People say Harry got rich because he was in the right place at the right time, but Proctor disagrees. Luck plays a part, sure, but it's effort and hard work that turn it into results. There's no free ride. Only the mint or jail offers easy money. Third, money must circulate. Hoard it like Chapman, and it's as useless as old newspapers in the attic. Use it, enjoy it, let it flow, and it gains value. Proctor's not preaching reckless spending. There's a difference between circulation and squandering, but he's clear. Money locked away serves no one. Then comes the prosperity consciousness exercise. Picture yourself telling friends you're going to get wealthy. Feel awkward? Most do. Wealthy people don't. They're comfortable with money because they've built a prosperity consciousness. Proctor's fix? Visualize yourself already rich. See it, feel it. Your subconscious can't tell the difference between imagination and reality, so it starts drawing wealth to you. But beware fear. He quotes Job. The thing I fear has come to visit upon me. Worry about money, and you'll lose it. Trust in abundance, and it grows. Proctor ends with a plea. Ignore the naysayers, economic doom, other people's opinions, and listen to your inner voice. That's where the real power lies. Chapter 2. How much is enough? Now let's step into Chapter 2. How much is enough? If Chapter 1 is about understanding money, this one's about defining your piece of it. Proctor asks a simple question. How much do you need to live the life you choose? Not some vague more, but a specific number tied to your dreams. Most people never answer this. They toil away, hoping for a windfall, a lottery ticket, a lucky break, never deciding what enough looks like. Proctor says that's a mistake. You deserve the amount that lets you have what you want, in the style you want. But you've got to name it. He urges an inventory, mental and financial. Sit down, he says, and ask, what do I really want? A house by the lake? Freedom to travel? A business of my own? Then figure out what it costs. Not just in dollars, but in lifestyle. How much is enough for you? Not your neighbor, not society, but you. Proctor keeps it short here, almost teasingly so, because the power isn't in the chapter's length, it's in the clarity it demands. Decide your number, and you've set the target. The how comes later, the what starts now. This isn't about greed, it's about permission. Proctor's not pushing excess, he's pushing purpose. Money's the servant, remember? It serves your vision. Without a clear enough, you're aiming at nothing. He hints at the chapters ahead, images, faith, action, but roots it here. Know what you're chasing. It's the first step to making it real. Example of application, Marcus's journey. Let's bring this to life with Marcus, a fictional everyman inspired by Proctor's seminar stories. Marcus is 42, a warehouse supervisor in a mid-sized town. He's steady, dependable, but restless. His $50,000 a year job covers the bills, mortgage, car payment, kids' sports, but leaves little for dreams. He's always wanted to move his family to a bigger home with a yard, maybe take them on a real vacation, Disney World, not just a weekend at the local lake. But money feels like a cage. He's stuck, watching coworkers grumble about the same grind, thinking, this is it. One Sunday, Marcus finds You Were Born Rich on a friend's coffee table. He borrows it, skeptical but intrigued. Chapter 1, Me and Money, shakes him. Those tycoons who crashed, Schwab, Hobson, remind him of his boss, obsessed with profits but miserable. Marcus realizes he's been half-living too, resenting money instead of mastering it. Proctor's Stein story hits home. He's got $200 in a jar on his dresser, saved for emergencies, just sitting there. And Chapman, that's his fear talking. If I spend, I'll lose everything. He reads the prosperity consciousness exercise and tries it. That night, he imagines telling his buddies, I'm going to be wealthy. He squirms, feels like bragging, but keeps going. He pictures a new home, a trip, his kids' faces lit up. It's awkward, but he feels a spark. Chapter 2. How much is enough? Stops him cold. How much does he need? He's never thought about it, not really. So he grabs a notebook. A bigger house here costs $300,000, double his current mortgage. Disney World for 4? Maybe $5,000 with flights and hotel. Plus a cushion, say, $20,000 a year for comfort. He does the math. To live that life, he needs $100,000 a year, twice his salary. It feels impossible, but Proctor's voice echoes, decide what's enough. Marcus writes it down, $100,000, and stares at it. It's not a wish, it's a target. The shift starts small. He takes that $200 from the jar and buys his wife flowers, his kids new soccer gear. It's not much, but it's circulation, money moving, not stagnating. At work, he stops griping with the crew about low pay and starts listening to that quiet voice Proctor mentions. One day, a forklift driver quits, and Marcus volunteers to train for it. A $5,000 raise if he certifies. He does, and the extra cash feels like a win. But it's not enough, yet. He keeps visualizing. The house with a wraparound porch, Mickey Mouse hugs for his kids. He's uncomfortable at first, but Proctor's right. Wealthy people don't flinch at money talk. Marcus starts feeling it too. Then, a break. His sister-in-law, a realtor, mentions a side gig, flipping houses. She needs a partner with a steady head, someone to manage repairs. Marcus hesitates, fear again, but Chapter 1's money isn't luck nudges him. He jumps in, using his raise to fund his share. They buy a fixer-upper for $150,000, renovated in 6 months, sell for $220,000. His cut, $30,000. He's stunned. This is real. He reinvests, flips another, nets $40,000. Within 2 years, his income hits $110,000, past his enough. He buys that house, takes the Disney trip, watches his son high-five Goofy. It's not a fluke, it's a shift. What did Marcus do? He applied Chapters 1 and 2 step by step. From Chapter 1, he rewrote his money story, stopped fearing it, started using it, built a prosperity consciousness. That $200 jar wasn't savings, it was a shackle. Letting it flow broke the spell. He ignored the economy's bad chatter and trusted his gut, just as Proctor urged. From Chapter 2, he named his number, $100,000, and gave himself permission to chase it. That clarity turned a vague someday into a plan. The forklift gig, the house flips. They weren't luck, they were money serving his vision. Deeper insights and practical tips. Let's dig deeper. Chapter 1's Me and Money is a mindset overhaul. Proctor's 3 truths: money as servant, earn not lucked into, meant to circulate, flip common beliefs. Try this. Next time you get paid, don't hoard every cent, spend a little on something joyful. A coffee, a gift, feel it move. Then visualize wealth daily, like Marcus did. Proctor says 5 minutes, morning and night. Seeing yourself abundant rewires your subconscious. Add feeling, excitement, peace, and it sticks. Fear's the trap. Push it out with trust. Chapter 2's How Much is Enough is your compass. Marcus's $100,000 wasn't random. He tied it to specifics. House, trip, cushion. Do the same. List your dreams. Home, travel, freedom. Price them out. Don't flinch at big numbers. Proctor says you deserve it. Write it down. Look at it daily. It's not about greed. It's about direction. Without it, you're drifting. Together, these chapters kickstart abundance. Chapter 1 frees you from money myths. Chapter 2 points you somewhere real. Marcus didn't wait for a windfall. He acted, small then big, and the universe met him halfway. Proctor's hinting at later laws, vibration, attraction, but it begins here. See money right. Know you're enough. Chapter 3, The Image Maker. Picture this. You're sitting in a quiet room, eyes closed, and on the screen of your mind, you see yourself living your ideal life. Maybe you're standing on a stage, speaking to a captivated audience. Or perhaps you're in a cozy home you've designed, surrounded by loved ones, free from financial worry. Whatever it is, it feels real, vivid, tangible, alive. This, Bob Proctor says in Chapter 3, is the essence of being an image maker. Your entire life, he argues, is governed by the images you hold in your mind. You're not just a passive observer of your circumstances. You're a co-creator with the universe, sculpting your reality one thought at a time. Proctor starts with a bold claim. Everything you see around you, your job, your bank account, your relationships, began as an image in someone's mind. The chair you're sitting on? Someone imagined it first. The car you drive? A designer pictured it before it rolled off the assembly line. And your life? It's a reflection of the images you've been holding, consciously or not. Most of us, Proctor says, don't realize we're already image makers. We just haven't been intentional about it. We let the outside world, bills, setbacks, other people's opinions, paint the picture for us. But here's the game changer. You can take the brush back. He introduces a key story to drive this home. Paul Hutsey, a man Proctor met at one of his seminars. Paul was a classic case of hard work gone wrong. For 20 years, he'd poured sweat and determination into his business, studying sales sheets, grinding through long hours, willing himself to succeed. Yet his results stayed stubbornly average. Why? Because Paul's mental image was tethered to those sales sheets, past performance, present struggles. He was fighting a losing battle, trying to force better outcomes from a limited picture. Proctor sat him down and asked, "What do you really want?" Paul hesitated, then admitted he dreamed of a thriving operation, financial freedom, a life of ease. "Then see it," Proctor urged. "Build that image in your mind, not what's on those sheets." Paul started small. He'd sit each morning, close his eyes, and imagine his business booming, clients calling, deals closing, money flowing. He pictured himself confident, relaxed, in control. At first, it felt like a fantasy, but Proctor explains why it works. Your subconscious mind can't distinguish between a vivid imagination and reality. Feed it a clear, consistent image, and it starts seeking ways to make it real. For Paul, the shift wasn't instant, but it was steady. Within months, new opportunities appeared, referrals, partnerships, ideas he'd never considered. His results began to mirror the image he'd built. Why? Because he'd become an intentional image maker. Proctor digs deeper into the mechanics. Your conscious mind, he says, is the gatekeeper. It chooses the image. Your subconscious is the engine. It brings it to life. But here's the catch. The subconscious doesn't argue. If you feed it lack, struggle, or doubt, that's what it produces. Feed it abundance, and it shifts gears. He likens it to a thermostat. Set it to 72 degrees, and the system adjusts to match. Set your mental image to prosperity, and your life adjusts too. It's not magic, it's a law of mind. He warns us, though, building the right image takes discipline. You've got to see it clearly, feel it deeply, and hold it steady, even when the outside world screams otherwise. Doubt is the enemy. Consistency is the key. Proctor's not asking us to deny reality. He's asking us to create a new one. You are a co-creator, he writes. Make sure you review your responsibility in that partnership. It's a call to action. Pick up the mental paintbrush and start designing. Chapter 4. Let go and let God. Now, imagine you've painted that masterpiece in your mind. You can see it, taste it, feel it, every detail sharp and bright. What's next? Do you grip it tightly, obsessing over how it'll happen? Or do you release it, trusting it'll come to you? In Chapter 4, Let Go and Let God, Proctor answers, let it go. This is where faith enters the equation, not blind hope, but a deep, unshakable trust in a power greater than yourself. You've done your part as the image maker. Now, hand it over to the infinite intelligence that runs the show. Proctor keeps this chapter short but potent, like a shot of espresso for the soul. He says once you've built your image, clinging to it with worry or control blocks its flow. It's like planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it's growing. You kill it with impatience. Instead, let go and let God, or the universe, or infinite power, whatever you call it, take over. This isn't passivity, it's active surrender. You've set the destination, now let the GPS chart the route. He uses a simple analogy. Think of a child handing a broken toy to a parent. The child doesn't hover, barking instructions. They trust it'll be fixed. That's the mindset Proctor wants us to adopt. Build the image, feel its truth, then release it with confidence that it's being worked on. Why does this work? Because, he says, there's a creative energy beyond our conscious control, an intelligence that orchestrates everything from the stars to the cells in our bodies. Our job is to align with it, not fight it. Proctor ties this to Chapter 3 seamlessly. The image maker crafts the vision, letting go activates it. Without release, your image stays a daydream. With faith, it becomes a force. He's clear, though, this isn't about religion in the traditional sense. It's about understanding a universal law. Doubt dams the flow. Trust opens the floodgates. Turn it over to the power within you, he writes, so it can materialize as an exact replica of your mental image. It's a leap, but one he insists we must take. Example of application, Sarah's transformation. So, how do these ideas play out in real life? Let's meet Sarah, a fictional character inspired by the countless stories Proctor shares from his seminars. Sarah's a 35-year-old single mom, working as a receptionist in a small dental office. She's reliable, hardworking, but stuck. Her paycheck barely covers rent, groceries, and her son's school supplies. She dreams of owning a little bakery, nothing fancy, just a cozy spot where she can bake her famous cinnamon rolls and live with ease. But every time she thinks about it, reality crashes in. No savings, no business experience, no time. She's trapped in a cycle of someday. One day, Sarah stumbles across a worn copy of You Were Born Rich at a thrift store. She's skeptical but curious, so she starts reading. Chapter 3 hits her like a lightning bolt. The image maker. Could she really shape her future with her mind? She decides to try. That night, after her son's asleep, she sits on her lumpy couch, closes her eyes, and builds an image. She sees her bakery, a sunny storefront with a red awning, the smell of fresh dough wafting out, customers smiling over coffee and rolls. She imagines herself behind the counter, apron dusted with flour, feeling proud, secure, free. It's so vivid she can almost taste the cinnamon. She does this every night, 5 minutes at a time, letting the image sink in. At first, nothing changes. She's still answering phones, still scraping by. But Proctor's words echo, hold the image steady. So she keeps at it, pushing past the doubt. She starts feeling different, lighter, more hopeful. Her subconscious, as Proctor promised, is waking up. Then comes Chapter 4, Let Go and Let God. Sarah realizes she's been clutching her dream too tight, worrying about how she'll ever afford it. She's been digging up the seed. So, one evening, she takes a deep breath and decides to release it. I've got the picture, she tells herself. Now I trust it'll happen. She doesn't know how, but she feels a strange peace. Days later, something shifts. At work, a patient, a chatty older woman named Ellen, mentions she's selling a small commercial space downtown. It's been a cafe, but she's retiring. Sarah's heart races. She blurts out her bakery dream, half expecting a polite nod. Instead, Ellen lights up. I've been looking for someone to take it over, she says. Let's talk. Sarah's stunned. This feels too easy. But Proctor's voice rings in her head. Let the power work. Over coffee, Ellen offers a deal, a low down payment, affordable rent, and even some old equipment thrown in. Sarah scrambles, borrowing from a friend, dipping into a tiny emergency fund. It's a risk, but Chapter 7's risk-takers lesson nudges her forward. She signs the lease, quits her job, and opens Sarah's sweet spot. The first weeks are shaky, long hours, tight margins, but that image keeps her going. She sees it every morning. The bustling bakery, the happy customers. And slowly, it materializes. Word spreads about her rolls. Locals become regulars. A food blogger raves online, and soon, she's hiring help. Within a year, Sarah's not just surviving, she's thriving. Her son helps on weekends, and she's saving for his college. The bakery's red awning glows in the sun, just like her vision. What happened here? Sarah applied Chapters 3 and 4 to the letter. She became an image maker, crafting a clear, consistent picture of her goal, not her current struggle. She fed it to her subconscious with repetition and emotion, letting it override years of I can't. Then she let go. She didn't force the how. She trusted the universe to deliver. And it did, in ways she couldn't have scripted. Ellen, the timing, the opportunity. Proctor would say this isn't luck, it's law. The image set the vibration. Faith opened the door. Sarah's story mirrors Paul Hutzey's, Patty Moyer's from Chapter 9, and countless others Proctor has seen. It's not about being special. It's about being intentional. Deeper insights and practical tips. Let's unpack this further. Chapter 3's Image Maker isn't just about daydreaming. It's a disciplined practice. Proctor suggests a few steps to make it stick. First, get specific. Vague images, like, I want to be rich, don't work. See the details, the house, the car, the feeling. Sarah didn't just picture success. She saw the awning, smelled the rolls. Second, add emotion. Feel the joy, the pride, as if it's happening now. Emotion is the fuel that powers the subconscious. Third, repeat it daily. Consistency rewires your mind, drowning out old patterns. Proctor says 5 minutes morning and night can change everything. Chapter 4's Let Go and Let God adds the magic ingredient, trust. It's the hardest part for most of us, releasing control. Proctor's not saying sit back and do nothing. He's saying act when prompted, but don't obsess. Sarah didn't quit her job the next day. She kept working until the path appeared. The letting go is mental, not physical. He suggests a ritual. Once your image is clear, Say to yourself, "It's done," and move on with your day. Trust the infinite power to handle the details. It's like mailing a letter. You don't chase the mail truck. Together, these chapters tackle two human traps: fuzzy thinking and fear. We either don't know what we want, or we choke it with worry. Sarah broke both. She clarified her vision and surrendered the outcome. Proctor ties this to later chapters, like expect an abundance in chapter 5, because expectation flows from faith. If you don't let go, you can't expect. It's a chain reaction: image, release, receive. Challenges, and overcoming them. Now, it's not all smooth sailing. Sarah faced hurdles. Doubt crept in when bills piled up, and letting go felt reckless when her son's needs loomed. Proctor anticipates this. In chapter 3, he warns that old images, years of conditioning, fight back. You've spent decades seeing lack. Abundance feels foreign. That's why repetition matters. It's a battle of persistence. For Sarah, every "what if I fail" was countered with her bakery vision until the new image won. Letting go, per chapter 4, is even trickier. We're wired to control, especially when stakes are high. Sarah's breakthrough came when she stopped asking how. Proctor says this is where most stumble. They build the image but strangle it with logistics. His fix? Focus on the end, not the means. The universe, he insists, has infinite ways to deliver, ways your conscious mind can't predict. Sarah didn't foresee Ellen. She just trusted something would show up. It always does, Proctor promises, if you hold the line. Chapter 5. Expect an abundance. Imagine waking up each morning with a quiet, unshakable certainty that good things are coming your way. Money, opportunities, joy, all flowing in effortlessly. Not wishing, not hoping, but expecting. That's the heart of Chapter 5. Expect an abundance. Bob Proctor says this isn't just a feel-good mindset. It's a creative force. Expectation, he argues, is the bridge between your mental image and its physical reality. Hope says maybe. Expectation says it's mine. And when you expect abundance, you tap into a power that delivers it. Proctor starts with a punch. Most people expect lack. They expect bills, setbacks, just enough, and that's exactly what they get. He's seen it in his seminars. Thousands of attendees stuck in a cycle of low expectations, wondering why life stays small. But then there are the outliers, the ones who turn it around. He shares glimpses of their stories. A woman who expected a promotion and got it within weeks. A man who expected a windfall and found $10,000 in an old account. These aren't flukes, Proctor insists. Expectation invokes a law. When you're certain, the universe responds. Why does this work? Proctor ties it to the subconscious. Your mind is a magnet, and expectation sets its charge. Doubt repels, certainty attracts. He's not talking blind optimism. Expectation is deeper, a conviction rooted in faith. It builds on Chapter 4's let go and let God. Once you've released your image, expect it to show up. Proctor's blunt. If you don't expect abundance, you're choosing scarcity by default. And who'd do that on purpose? He offers no formal exercise here, but the message is clear. Start acting like abundance is yours. Talk about it, plan for it, feel it now. Proctor's seen seminar rooms shift. People who began expecting more saw more. A new job, a surprise check, a breakthrough. They expected it, and it came. There's a difference between wishing for something and expecting it, he writes. Expectation is a dynamic energy. It's your job to flip the switch. Chapter 6. The Law of Vibration and Attraction. Now, let's tune into Chapter 6, the Law of Vibration and Attraction. If Chapter 5 is about expecting the prize, this one explains how it arrives. Proctor dives into a universal truth. Everything vibrates. Your thoughts, your feelings, the chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing. It's not woo-woo, it's physics. And here's the kicker, like attracts like. What you vibrate, you draw in. Wealth, health, love, they're all frequencies, and you're a radio tower broadcasting your signal. Proctor breaks it down. Your thoughts aren't just fleeting, they're energy, setting your vibration. Feel broke, worried, stuck? You're tuned to lack, pulling in more of it. Feel prosperous, confident, open? You're on the abundance channel, and good things roll in. He says this explains why some people seem to have it all, while others struggle, not luck, but vibration. The rich get richer because their thoughts and feelings align with wealth. The poor stay poor because they're stuck on a scarcity frequency. He uses a metaphor. Imagine your mind as a magnetized steel bar. Rub it with thoughts of prosperity, and it attracts prosperity. Rub it with doubt, and it repels. Proctor's seen it play out. Seminar attendees who shifted their vibe saw wild results. A car salesman doubled his commissions. A teacher landed a grant. Why? They stopped vibrating lack and started vibrating abundance. It's not about faking it. It's about feeling it. Your emotions are the dial. Your thoughts turn it. Proctor warns, though, this law never sleeps. You're always vibrating, consciously or not. Most people don't choose their signal. They let circumstances do it. Bad day. Low vibe. Criticism. Lower still. But you can take control. Build that mental image from Chapter 3. Expect it from Chapter 5. And now align your vibration to match. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, as if it's here. That's the secret sauce. Vibration isn't just thought. It's feeling. Get it right, and attraction kicks in. Example of application, Lena's leap. So, how do these laws transform a life? Meet Lena, a fictional character inspired by Proctor's real-life examples. Lena's 29, a graphic designer freelancing in a cramped apartment. She's talented but underpaid, scraping by on $2,000 a month, enough for rent and ramen, but not the life she wants. She dreams of a studio space, a steady client roster, maybe a trip to Italy to sketch the Colosseum. But her reality feels miles away. Clients haggle, projects dry up, and she's tired of hearing the market's tough. One rainy afternoon, Lena's scrolling online and stumbles across a Bob Proctor video. Intrigued, she grabs You Were Born Rich from the library. Chapter 5, Expect an Abundance, grabs her. She's been expecting less, late payments, rejection, not more. Proctor's stories of seminar wins light a fire. She decides to try it. That night, she sits with a sketch pad, not for work, but for her mind. She draws her dream. A sunlit studio with big windows, a laptop buzzing with client emails, herself sipping espresso in Rome. She expects it, not if, but when. It feels bold, almost silly, but she keeps going, imagining it daily. Chapter 6, The Law of Vibration and Attraction, seals the deal. Lena realizes she's been vibrating lack, grumbling about cheap clients, feeling small. Proctor's magnet idea clicks. She's repelling what she wants. So she shifts. She starts her mornings differently. No scrolling bad news, but playing upbeat music, sketching her studio, feeling grateful as if it's real. She walks taller, pitches clients with confidence, not desperation. Her vibe changes, less poor me, more watch me. The first sign comes fast. A friend mentions a local cafe needing a logo, small gig, but Lena expects it to lead somewhere. She nails it, and the owner refers her to a startup. That job pays $1,500, her biggest yet. She expects more, keeps vibrating high, smiling, creating, trusting. Soon, a boutique agency emails her out of the blue. They saw her work online. They offer $4,000 for a branding package. Lena's floored, 2 months' rent in one check. She says yes, delivers, and they keep her on retainer. $3,000 a month, steady. Within a year, Lena's at $6,000 a month, triple her old income. She leases a studio downtown, big windows, just like her sketch. Clients pour in. She's picky now, choosing the best. She books that Italy trip, sketching Rome's ruins with espresso in hand. It's not magic, it's law. She expected abundance, tuned her vibration, and attracted it. What did Lena do? From Chapter 5, she flipped her expectation. No more, maybe someday. She acted like abundance was hers, planning as if it were true. Proctor's right. Certainty pulls results. From Chapter 6, she aligned her vibration, ditched the victim vibe, embraced gratitude and confidence. Her emotions shifted her frequency, and opportunities followed. That cafe gig wasn't luck, it was attraction. Lena's story echoes Proctor's attendees, small shifts, big wins. Deeper insights and practical tips. Let's unpack this. Chapter 5's Expect an Abundance is about mindset on steroids. Proctor's tip? Live it now. Lena didn't wait. She sketched, felt, expected. Try this. Pick one desire, say a raise. Expect it. Talk about what you'll do with it. Feel the relief. Assume it's coming. Doubt's the enemy. starve it with certainty. Do it daily, 5 minutes, like a ritual. Chapter 6, Law of Vibration and Attraction, is the how-to. Your vibe's your signal. Thoughts start it, feelings amplify it. Lena's music, her strut, those tuned her up. Test it. Next time you're down, shift, play a song, list 3 wins, feel good. Hold it 60 seconds. Proctor says that's enough to tip the scale. Gratitude's gold. It's instant high-vibe fuel. Pair it with your expectation, and you're magnetic. Together, these chapters are a 1-2 punch. Expect it, vibrate it. Lena didn't force doors open. She became the kind of person doors open for. Proctor's building on earlier laws, image, faith, but adding energy. It's not passive, it's proactive alignment. It's not effortless. Lena hit bumps. Early rejection stung, old scarcity vibes crept back. Proctor knows this. Chapter 5 says expectation feels foreign when you're used to less. Lena pushed through by focusing on her sketch, not her inbox. Consistency beat doubt. Chapter 6, tougher. Vibration's subtle, and negativity's loud. Lena's fix? Small wins, like that cafe job, proved it worked, keeping her tuned. Proctor warns, circumstances scream lack, ignore them. Feel abundant anyway. Fear's the biggie. Lena worried she'd jinx it. Proctor's antidote. Act as if. She pitched boldly, expected yes, and got them. Most quit here. They expect half-heartedly, vibrate low. Lena doubled down, and it paid off. Chapter 7, The Risk Takers. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, wind whipping around you, a vast canyon below. On the other side, the life you've dreamed of, freedom, wealth, purpose. The bridge isn't fully built. You can see the far shore, but the path's incomplete. Do you turn back, or leap anyway? In Chapter 7, The Risk Takers, Bob Proctor says leap. Playing it safe, he warns, is the surest way to lose. Winners take risks, not reckless gambles, but calculated steps into the unknown, trusting the bridge will appear. Proctor kicks off with a truth bomb. No one's ever achieved greatness without risk. He's seen it in his seminars, ordinary people who broke free by stepping out. One quit a soul-crushing job to start a business. Another invested their last dime in a dream. They didn't wait for certainty. They acted on faith. Proctor's blunt. There's no reward without risk. Stay in your comfort zone, and you're stuck. Safe, maybe, but stagnant. Risk-takers don't just dream, they do. He shares a glimpse of these transformations. A man stuck in a factory job for 15 years heard Proctor speak, visualized a new career, and risked applying for a sales role he wasn't qualified for. He got it, doubled his income in a year. A woman left a toxic marriage, moved cities with no plan, risky, sure, but landed a dream gig within months. Why? They acted before the how was clear. Proctor ties this to earlier chapters. Build the image, expect it, vibrate it, then risk it. Action's the spark that ignites the law. He's not naive. Risk feels scary. Your stomach knots, your mind screams, what if? But Proctor says that's the point. Fear's the gatekeeper. Push past it, and you're free. He contrasts winners and losers. Losers hesitate, winners move. It's not about having no fear, it's about acting despite it. You must be willing to lose sight of the shore, he writes, to discover new oceans. Risk isn't the absence of doubt, it's the courage to bet on yourself. Chapter 8, The Razor's Edge. Now, imagine you're in a race, neck and neck with a dozen runners, the finish line gleaming ahead. You're close, so close, but not quite there. What separates you from the winner? Not miles, not even strides, just a hair's breadth. That's Chapter 8, The Razor's Edge. Proctor borrows from Somerset Maugham's novel to deliver a stunner. The difference between success and failure is razor-thin, often just 2 or 3% more effort, belief, or persistence. You're nearer than you think. He drives it home with a sports analogy. In a horse race, the winner's nose ahead nets millions. Second place gets a pat on the back. Life's the same. Small edges compound into massive wins. Proctor's seen it. Seminar attendees who went from broke to booming with tiny shifts. One added an extra hour of focus daily. Another stuck with a goal when others quit. That's the razor's edge, not superhuman feats, but consistent, deliberate nudges past average. Proctor digs into why this matters. Most people stop short. 98% effort, not 100. They visualize, expect, risk a little, but balk at the final push. The razor's edge is that last bit, staying the course when it's tough, believing when it's dark. He says you don't need to overhaul your life. Tweak it. A bit more discipline, a touch more faith, and you're over the line. Success is so close, he writes, but most never stretch far enough to grab it. He ties it to risk-taking. That leap in Chapter 7? It's the edge. You're already 98% there. Your image, your vibration, but without the risk, you miss. Proctor's urgent here. Don't settle for close. The razor's edge isn't luck, it's choice. Winners choose it, losers don't. Example of application, Jamal's breakthrough. Let's see this in action with Jamal, a fictional everyman inspired by Proctor's stories. Jamal's 38, a delivery driver in a bustling city. He's dependable, earns $40,000 a year, but feels trapped. He dreams of owning a food truck, spicy jerk chicken, his Jamaican grandma's recipe, served curbside with a smile. But it's a pipe dream, $20,000 for a truck, no savings, long shifts leaving him drained. He's stuck, watching foodie shows, wishing. One night, Jamal's cousin lends him You Were Born Rich. Chapter 7, The Risk Takers, jolts him. He's been playing it safe, same job, same routine, no risks. Proctor's tales of leapers, factory guy, brave woman, hit home. Jamal's risked nothing, gained nothing. He starts small. After work, he cooks for neighbors, tests his recipe. They rave. Word spreads. He visualizes the truck, expects orders, vibrates high, but knows it's time to act. Risk calls. He hears about a beat-up food truck for sale, $15,000, needs work. It's a stretch. His $1,000 savings won't cut it. Chapter 7 echoes. Lose sight of the shore. Jamal risks it, borrows $5,000 from his sister, negotiates the seller down to $12,000, promises to pay in chunks. He's terrified. Debt, no safety net, but signs the deal. Nights and weekends, he fixes it up, paints it red, names it Jam's Jerk. No turning back. Chapter 8, The Razor's Edge, keeps him going. The truck's ready, but business is slow. 5 customers a day, barely breaking even. Jamal's tempted to quit. 98% there, but not winning. Proctor's words ring. It's a hair's breadth. He edges forward, tweaks the sauce, parks near a busy lot, hands out free samples. That 2% more, grit, hustle, tips it. One day, a line forms, 20 people, then 50. A festival books him. He clears $2,000 in a weekend. 6 months in, he's at $60,000 a year. Truck paid off, debt gone. Jamal expands, hires a helper, plans a second truck. He's not just surviving, he's thriving. That cliff? He leapt. That edge? He crossed it. What did Jamal do? From Chapter 7, he embraced risk, borrowed, bought, leapt blind. Proctor's right. No risk, no reward. The truck wasn't a sure thing. It was a bet on his vision. From Chapter 8, he pushed the razor's edge, didn't stop at close enough. Slow days didn't break him, small tweaks did. He turned 98% into 100, and abundance followed. Deeper insights and practical tips. Let's dig in. Chapter 7's The Risk Takers is a dare. Proctor's tip? Start where you stand. Jamal cooked for neighbors, tested the waters. Try it. Pick one dream. Take one risk. Quit a bad habit. Pitch an idea. Fear's normal. Act anyway. It's not all or nothing. Small leaps build courage. Tie it to your image. Risk makes it real. Chapter 8's Razor's Edge is precision. Jamal's edge was persistence, extra effort when it hurt. Proctor's advice? Add 2% more, call one more client, wake up 30 minutes earlier. Track it. 1 week, small pushes, see the shift. You're close, don't stop short. It's not overhaul, it's stretch. Together, they're dynamite. Risk starts it, edge finishes it. Jamal didn't wait for perfect. He leapt, then polished. Proctor's building on vibration, expectation, action seals the deal. It's tough. Jamal's risk, borrowing, buying, sparked panic. Chapter 7 says fear's the test. He passed by focusing on the truck, not the what-ifs. Proctor's fix? Act fast. Doubt grows in delay. Jamal signed before he overthought it. Chapter 8's harder. Slow progress tempts quitting. Jamal's edge wavered. Free samples saved it. Proctor warns, 98% feels good enough. Push past. Small wins kept Jamal going. Fear of failure's the beast. Jamal nearly bailed. Proctor says winners risk losing to win big. Jamal bet on himself, edged out doubt, and crossed the line. Chapter 9. Don't think in reverse. Imagine you're driving down a winding road, eyes locked on the rearview mirror. You see every pothole you've hit, every turn you missed, but not the path ahead. The curves loom, but you're too busy looking back to steer. That's the trap Bob Proctor tackles in Chapter 9. Don't think in reverse. He says most of us live this way, fixated on yesterday's failures, replaying what was instead of what could be. It's a mental habit that keeps us stuck, and Proctor's here to break it. He starts with a story. Patty Moyer, a 20-year-old he mentored. Patty dreamed of a Caribbean cruise, sun, sea, escape, but her mind was stuck in reverse. I don't have the money, she'd say, staring at her empty bank account. Proctor challenged her, stop looking back. Book the trip. She balked. How could she with no cash? But he insisted, focus forward, see the cruise, act as if it's yours. Patty risked it, reserved a spot, trusting the how would come. Days later, a forgotten tax refund arrived, covering the cost. She sailed off, beaming, because she stopped thinking in reverse. Proctor contrasts this with the 333 story. In 1980, his friend Bob Templeton rallied a radio station to raise $3 million in 3 hours over 3 days for tornado victims. The goal was insane, impossible, some said, but Templeton refused to dwell on why we can't. He saw the end, funds flowing, lives rebuilt. Listeners pledged $9 million. They settled at $3 million cash. Why? Forward thinking. Proctor's point is sharp. The past is a reference, not a residence. Dwell there, and you're broke, mentally, financially, spiritually. He digs into the why. Your mind's a projector. Play old reels of failure, and you recreate them. Play new ones of success, and the future shifts. Proctor's seen it in seminars. People shackled by, I tried that once, or I'm not good enough, until they look ahead. It's not denial, it's discipline. The past only exists as long as you keep it alive, he writes. Let it go, and you're free to build. Chapter 10. The Vacuum Law of Prosperity. Now, picture your closet, stuffed with old shirts, frayed jeans, stuff you haven't worn in years. You want new clothes, but there's no room. That's the metaphor for Chapter 10, the vacuum law of prosperity. Proctor says nature hates a vacuum, clears space, and something fills it. Want abundance? Let go of the old, possessions, ideas, fears, to make way for the new. It's the final piece of his puzzle, release to receive. He tells a personal tale, his Aunt Marg, who loathed her drab drapes but kept them, dreading the void. Proctor explained the law, give them away, expect better. Marg did, and soon, a friend offered new ones. Then furniture followed, then a whole home upgrade. Why? She created a vacuum. Proctor's rule, don't sell, give, freely, joyfully, trusting abundance returns. Hoarding blocks the flow, release opens it. He ties this to money, too. Cling to every dime, and you're signaling lack. Spend, give, circulate, signal plenty. Proctor's seen it work. Seminar attendees who donated old coats got unexpected checks. Others cleared desks and landed deals. It's not magic, it's law. You must give up something of a lower nature, he writes, to receive something of a higher nature. Space invites substance. Example of application, Elena's renewal. Let's meet Elena, a fictional woman inspired by Proctor's examples. Elena's 45, a schoolteacher in a small town. She's steady, earns $50,000 a year, but feels drained. Her classroom's a grind, her house a cluttered mess. Old furniture, stacks of papers, memories of a stalled life. She dreams of writing children's books, colorful tales to inspire kids, but her mind's stuck on, I'm too old, and her space screams, no room. One weekend, Elena's sister gifts her You Were Born Rich. Chapter 9, Don't Think in Reverse, wakes her up. She's been replaying the past, divorce, a failed novel draft. I'll never make it. Patty's cruise story strikes a chord. Elena decides, no more reverse. She pictures her books, bright covers, kids laughing, sees herself signing them at a library. Not if I could, but when I will. She journals it daily, forward-focused, letting old regrets fade. Chapter 10. The Vacuum Law of Prosperity hits harder. Her house is a museum of stagnation. Clothes she hates, a desk buried in junk. Marge drapes echo, clear the old. Elena starts small, donates a bag of sweaters, feels lighter. Then bigger, tosses broken chairs, clears her desk, gives away books she'll never reread. She doesn't sell, she gives, expecting space to fill. Her home breathes, so does she. The shift comes fast. A colleague, seeing her tidier classroom, mentions a local writing contest, $1,000 prize. Elena's past self would have shrugged, I'm no writer now. But she's forward-focused, enters a story about a brave kid, polished on her clean desk. She wins. The prize buys a laptop, the boost fuels her. She writes more, submits to publishers. 6 months later, a small press bites, $5,000 advance, her first book set for print. Elena quits teaching, writes full-time. Her income climbs, $60,000 from royalties in year 1. She moves to a bright condo, clutter-free, her books on shelves nationwide. The past? Gone. The vacuum? Filled. What did Elena do? From chapter 9, she stopped thinking in reverse, ditched too old, saw, author now. Proctor's right, forward focus frees you. The contest wasn't luck, it was projection. From chapter 10, she applied the vacuum law, cleared junk, signaled abundance. That desk wasn't just space, it was a magnet. Her story mirrors Patty, Marg, release the old, win the new. Deeper insights and practical tips. Let's unpack this. Chapter 9's Don't Think in Reverse is a mental reset. Proctor's tip? Catch yourself. Next time you say, I can't because, flip it to, I can when Elena journaled her future. Try it. 5 minutes. See your goal, not your history. It's not ignoring the past. It's not living there. Focus forward and doors open. Chapter 10's vacuum law is physical and mental. Elena gave, didn't sell. Proctor says that's key. Start small. Donate 1 item today. Old shirt, book, feel the shift. Then bigger. Clear a drawer, a belief, I'm stuck. Expect the fill, don't clutch, trust. It's circulation, like chapter 1's money lesson, but broader, space for all good. Together, they're liberation. Drop the past, make room. Elena didn't force success, she aligned, released, received. Proctor's weaving his laws, image, risk, into a final push. Let go, let in. Closing reflections. As we close, Proctor leaves us with a charge. You're born rich with talent and ability beyond one lifetime's use. Your gift back is to develop it. He credits mentors like Ray Stanford and Val Van de Waal for shaping this wisdom, and collaborators like Joe Farkas and Lois Ward for birthing the book. The message is urgent. Don't just read, act. Review these ideas, share them, live them. Compare your current results to what's possible. Remove the mental kinks, doubt, guilt, limitation, and let creative energy flow. This is your Aladdin's lamp, Proctor says. Rub it with understanding and application, and watch your wishes take form. You're not limited by circumstance, only by consciousness. So what image will you build? What space will you clear? The power is yours, right now, today. You were born rich. It's time to claim it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.